I suppose people's first encounter with bats is likely to be maybe a surprise themselves out there in the countryside. If it's about getting involved with bats as a subject, it's likely to be on a bat walk organised by a local group.
Oh, there he goes, look, two!
I suppose when we're thinking about the number of people who may have a disability, you could be talking about up to 12 million people, 20% of the population, who may have some need or issue that you can help with in the way that you organise your events. I mean, it should be of absolutely no surprise to people that people with a disability, when they want to go into the countryside, they want to go for the same experience as everybody else. They may have some specific requirements about information or a confidence in the physical access or the way something's going to be delivered to them, but they want the same experience as everybody else, the peace, the quiet, the relaxation. And I don't doubt that bat walks can provide all those requirements. Chances are, if you've never done this before, you're going to get a great experience in a different environment, maybe not used to going out in the countryside in the darkness. It's going to be quite a different experience.
They're kind of chasing each other.
I suppose if you're looking for a location, I suppose if you're a group and it's about a bat walk, then you want a location that's got a great opportunity to experience bats. But once you've sort of covered that point, then if you've got choices of the places you want to go to, you should be looking at the more accessible ones that still provide that great experience. Among the things you look for then would be, you know, a nice landscape, you know, maybe a city park that doesn't have any physical barriers, constructed barriers like, you know, gates and stiles and things that are awkward to get through and around.
Jesus Christ.
And you may need to put a bit of effort into coordinating either links to the public transport services and whether they have vehicles that will accommodate people with those needs, or whether you have to look at specific bookings of taxis or minibuses or whatever that do have the physical facilities to include people in there.
Having Parkinson's, it's not always obvious that I have a disability. When my tablets are working fine, then I can walk quite well. But when my tablets wear off, that's when I start to struggle. I think as long as there's lots of information, then any advert would encourage me to go on that walk. I'd need to know things like how long the walk was and whether it was a steep walk or whether it was an easy walk for people with disabilities.
Making sure, if you can, that you've got facilities like public transport links to the site you're going to use. Are there toilets? Are there accessible toilets for people at that location? You've probably got a linear gradient there of about 10–11%, so steeper than the standard that should be recommended. A place that has seats every now and then so that people can take a rest. So you have some benches that at least someone has put some sort of thought in to including access for chair users.
Disabled
provide the information and people can make their own choices.
We have here an example of a Class 3/4 buggy or scooter that are owned by quite a few disabled people now, and something of this nature will manage most of the urban parks.
Practically everything about physical access in terms of thinking about walks is a means to an end. It's making sure that you've chosen the best possible route and you've given the best possible information, because it means when people get there then they can relax and take in what they came for in the first place.